Hi guys, so I thought I'd film this really fun tutorial and show you how to letter on stones. So remember, you can apply lettering to anything pretty much: glass, acrylics, stones, anything you can think of. And obviously, it will be a bit different than lettering on paper, and there are certain tools that will make your work better and more long lasting and just make it stand out more. So to be honest, it's like all about knowing what tools to use, which I'm also going to cover, but I'll also give you some general tips on how to get started really. So maybe you've been to the beach and you've collected a few pebbles. Obviously yours might be different. You can get like black ones or grey ones, and literally here in Brighton, I've seen so many different pebbles. Some of them are really chalky, like very white, so black lettering would look amazing on them. Some of them are blue, like this. These are really pretty actually. So again, I could do some darker ones in white and some lighter ones in black. So we're looking for contrast. If you got like a grey, I've got one that's here, like in a funny shape. So if you got like a grey stone like this, I think you can use either white or black. So those are the two colours I would usually go for. Of course, you could do something more fancy where we use gold, but to be honest, I just don't think it will be effective unless you do it in like foil, and which is also an option. So the stones I have today are these. So they are different sizes on purpose, because obviously you won't get the stone, if you imagined you want to have it in 10 centimeter diameter and you want all of them like that, that's just not going to be possible. Because it's quite hard to find, because they're all very natural. And so I will be only demonstrating with two tools today, but remember, again, you can get them in different colors. So to do black lettering, I'll use this Posca pen, which has 0.9 and 1.3 millimeter tip, so it's quite fine. You can get thicker tips for Posca pen, so this one's a comparison. So this one's thicker, so this one's up to 2.5 millimeters, so you can see the difference. This one's much thinner, the one at the top. So I find that thinner ones just work better for like intricate details, and if you want to do something where you have to be very careful, it can be really hard to control a thicker tip of such pen. And also remember, obviously these are not brush pens, so if you want to achieve like a calligraphy look, you will have to do full lettering. So, but also remember, you could just do like a stylized lettering like this, for example, where I'm not really making my downstrokes thick. So obviously I'm just using my calligraphy style and kind of do like a normal writing. So this can also look really nice, and to be honest, I really love this style. It's still bouncy, it still looks kind of like calligraphy, but I'm not fussing about downstrokes and upstrokes. But of course, you can also do full lettering where you just add in those thicker strokes manually. So you would do the name as it is, and then you just go over each downstroke and thicken it. So I'm sure I've done like lots of tutorials on full lettering, so you can give it a go. So obviously this will look a bit thicker, a bit more like calligraphy, although we're not actually using a brush pen. So that's an option. You can use your Posca pens in like these two different styles. The good thing about these is that they are acrylic based, and these will be really long lasting. So if these are for a wedding, like little place cards, and there's like a drink spill or something, so they should not bleed if such thing happens. So do try to go for acrylic based pens when you are working on different surfaces. And unfortunately, very often they're not brush pens, so it's a shame, but I haven't come across like a good acrylic brush pen. myself just yet. So maybe you have, please share. But from my experience, doing this really works, and a lot of calligraphers use this for signage, to letter on mirrors, for weddings, you know, on wooden boards. So this is a wonderful option, probably the most popular option. You can also do white lettering, and you could also just get this pen in white color or any different color if you do want to experiment with different colors. But if you want to use brush pen, so I've got this Masterstroke craft brush here to demonstrate. You could, you know, just use this brush with some white ink like this one. So this is Bleedproof white. And actually this is the one I highly recommend because it's very opaque, and that's what we want if you're lettering on a stone. So it wants to be very opaque. So, you know, you could do this, but obviously if you're doing it for a client, for example, if it's an Etsy order or something, I would be a little bit cautious because you don't know, it might smudge once it dries, or again, if there's a bit of water getting onto it, because you know this is not acrylic based. Although there are options, you can always spray it with something, you know, those kind of sealing sprays. I often use them on ceramic baubles to seal my work, for example. I'll add a link to the one I use, but you know, that could be an option. You could always spray these after you use your brush and just letter with a brush. So I'll show you two options and you can decide for yourself which one is it that you want to try. So let's get started. Right, so another thing you want to think about when you're working with pebbles, you might have some shorter names. So usually these will be used as place cards. You could also just do some like decorations to put around your house with some lovely words, but or like family names. But normally, yes, we would be lettering names on stones to be used as place cards. And obviously there'll be shorter names, there'll be longer names. So once you have your stones, just do kind of pick which ones you'll use for shorter ones. So I don't have much room on this one, so I could do something short like Josh or Tom, for example, whilst bigger ones that are more flat like this, you know, I could do something longer like Charlotte or Caroline. You know, it takes a lot of room. And you know, there will be some imperfections, of course, it's a stone, you know, erosion happens, and you can kind of work around it. So pick a better side. Like I wouldn't use this side for this stone because it has like lots of little bends and holes, so this one's much more flat. So you kind of want to make those decisions before you start lettering. So there we go, I'm going to demonstrate a few. So I'm going to start with my black pen. So I'll try to pick like the lighter ones to use with black. As I said, we're looking for contrast, so maybe I'll start with this one. And again, I'm kind of trying to think now. So there's like a flat bit here which I could letter on, and I might stretch my lettering into here, but I'm not really keen on doing that, so I might just do it here, like nice small names. So you do kind of want to decide where you're going to position it, and also make sure that your brush is not like overloading with ink. So if you press it down, more ink is going to flow through. So I wouldn't recommend having it super wet. So maybe use another page and just get rid of that excess, because mine kind of leaked a little bit at the beginning, you can see on my finger. So it doesn't want to be super wet. And I might just letter Emily here. So I'm going to start by kind of holding my stone upright in a way at an angle. You want to rest your hand and adjust the position of the stone to your hand, not the other way around, because that's just going to be really difficult. You always want to have your hand supported. Do remember to pick up your pen. Ever so often. So I'm not talking much because it's quite hard to do, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm really just focusing. Again, extending the exit stroke, making it look complete. So there we go, it looks quite nice, you know. There was a little bit of a tricky bit here because there's like a big bend there. And as I said, I could go over my downstrokes to make it look a bit more like brush lettering, but to be honest, I don't think if I want to. I kind of like this kind of delicate, stylized look as it is. And a lot of calligraphers use this style very often, so it does look really nice actually, as it is. I might thicken, you know, some very fine strokes, like this one here. But overall, I'm not going to do too much adjusting that. So here we are, very contrasting, very cute, and it could make a really nice little place card, especially for like summer outdoor weddings, for example. So there we go, this one seemed to be like easier because the actual stone felt a bit more, I don't know, slippery in a way. So again, you know, the texture of your stone might vary and you never know. So I think this was a good length for this stone. Right, so I might actually try doing some in white now just to show you. So I haven't got much left in here. So what I've done, I just splashed some water in there. Just remember that this needs to be diluted before you letter with it. So just add a bit of water so it still looks thick, like double cream I would say. So the thicker it is, the more opaque it will appear. So I might just do something short on this one. So here, you know, you can see that I can do actual brush lettering. And again, it's tricky, of course, but if you get into a nice flow, this can look really nice. And you can use the tip of the brush to like correct anything, so it really feels like you're painting here rather than lettering. And you can blend in some more paint if you want to make it a bit more contrasting. So that, you know, that's an option. And as I said, once this dries, you can spray something over and it'll just last a bit longer. So I've got a little collection here, and you know, these look lovely. If I decide to get married by the sea one day, or who knows, you know, I might use these as place cards because they do look quite cute. And as I said, they don't have to be perfect, but once they're kind of put together, they do actually look really, really nice, especially in the summer. That's like such a good summer project to try. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.